Hello my dear students, I come back again with a new class and welcome back to the online class of Ananda Multimedia School and College. I hope you are all safe and well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today the topic of our class is transformation of sentence and our main topics is affirmative to negative. Dear learners, I discussed some of the rules of affirmative to negative in my previous class. Today, I will discuss some of the rules of affirmative to negative in my class, where there are every, always, many, much, as soon as, both, and to. Now, I am going to discuss one by one. At first, every. Dear learners, every we can use in two ways, such as every changes into there is no or every changes into no. At the time of negative sentence, if we use there is no instead of every, then will be the attached word to every, and after that according to the structure will be but, and finally the rest of the sentence or from verb to end of the sentence. For example, affirmative, everyone loves flowers. Negative sentence, there is no one but loves flowers. Dear learners, look at the example attentively. In this sentence, in this negative sentence, every changes into there is no. I again say, look at the example attentively. Every changes into there is no, and after that we have used attached word. According to the structure, we have written but, and finally we have used from verb to end of the sentence. That's all. Okay, dear learners, after that every we can use another way. That means if we used no instead of every, after that we have to write the opposite word of verb, adjective or noun. For example, affirmative sentence, everyone loves flowers. Negative sentence, no one hates flowers. Look at the example attentively. Dear learners, we have used the word no instead of every. After that, attached word one, and hates. We know that in this negative sentence, when we use no instead of every, then we have to use opposite word of verb, adjective or noun. That's why we have used hates, and hates is the opposite of loves. That's all. Okay? After that, always. Dear learners, always turns into never. I again say, always turns into never. That means if you find always in an affirmative sentence, then always changes into never, and we have to use the opposite word of verb, adjective at the time of negative sentence. For example, affirmative sentence, I will always remember you. Negative, I will never forget you. Dear learners, look at the example. In this negative sentence, I have used never instead of always, and We know that when we use the word never instead of always, then we have to use the opposite word of verb, adjective or noun. That's why we have used forget, because forget is the opposite of remember, and nothing else has changed in this sentence. Okay, dear learners, after that many changes into a few. I again say many changes into a few. If we find in an affirmative sentence many, and then we have to use a few instead of many. For example, affirmative, my friends gave me many gifts on my birthday. Negative, my friends did not give me a few gifts on my birthday. Dear learners, look at the example. In this negative sentence, we have used a few instead of many. According to the tense, we use do not, did not, is not, are not, etc. And in this sentence, we have used did not. We know that if the sentence is present indefinite, we have to use do not, or if the sentence is past indefinite, we have to use did not. Dear learners, look at the example. In this sentence, we have used did not. Why? Because this sentence is an example of past indefinite. That's why we have written did not. That's all. Okay? And nothing else has changed in this sentence. Dear learners, after that, much. Dear learners, actually much and many are the same. I again say much and many are the same, but many is used for countable nouns and much is used for uncountable nouns. That's all. Look at the example. Affirmative. Rana has sold much honey. Negative sentence. Rana has not sold a little honey. In this negative sentence, we have used a little instead of much. I again say much changes into little, and nothing else has changed in this sentence. Okay? Dear learners, after that, as soon as replaced by no sooner had. I again say as soon as replaced by no sooner had. If we find an example, after that everything will be clear. Look at the example. Affirmative. As soon as the man saw the tiger, he ran away. Negative sentence. No sooner had the man seen the tiger, then he ran away. Dear learners, look at the example attentively. In this sentence, we have used no sooner had instead of as soon as, and we have used then instead of comma, and in this sentence there is nothing to change. Okay, after that, as dot dot as. Dear learners, if you find in an affirmative sentence as dot dot as, the first as is replaced by not less and the second as is replaced by then. For example, after that everything will be clear. Affirmative. Anika is as beautiful as Khadija. Negative sentence. Anika is not less beautiful than Khadija. Dear learners, look at the example attentively. In this sentence, we have used not less instead of as, and secondly as changes into then, and nothing else changed in this sentence. Again, after that I will discuss about both dot dot and. That means if you find in an affirmative sentence both or and, both turns into not only and turns into but also. For example, affirmative. Rana is both honest and faithful. Negative. Rana is both replaced by not only. After that, honest and replaced by but also. Faithful. Dear learners, look at the example. In this sentence we have used not only instead of both. Again, and changes into but also. Nothing else has changed in this sentence. Okay, and finally for today, 2 dot dot 2, and these two will be so and these two will be that. I again say these two will be so and these two will be that. For example, affirmative. He is too weak to walk. Negative. He is so weak that he can not walk. Dear students, look at the example. In this negative sentence, to changes into so and to changes into that, and after that we have used again subject, and according to the tense we have used cannot. Here we have used could not according to the tense, and after that rest of the sentence. That's all. Dear learners, no more today. I hope this class is very helpful for you, and I will come back again with a new class. So keep your eyes on our Facebook page. Allah Hafiz.